to talk about some of the problems that I see men are having nowadays with women, also with sexuality, and just being in this world where it seems like everything is kind of upside down. This is for men, but this is also for young men. And not only do I see it in the media, but it's people that I talk to, clients that I see, and also men that write me letters and comments. And so I've been trying to put together what some of the main problems are. I mean, I see so many different areas that I could go into, but I don't really want to get on a tangent. I want to try to stay focused with this and try to give some of you out there some clear paths so that life doesn't seem so confusing or overwhelming or strange. So first I want to begin with this notion of how to treat a woman. And so in one sense, you're supposed to treat a woman with respect. Many men are now afraid to approach women or say something to a woman for fear that they're going to be taken out of context. And as I said in my last video, there's so many guys out there that are so wonderful and they're good guys. And there are some men out there that have bad intentions and that are bad men, but most men are good and they choose to act appropriate and proper, and they have a conscience and they have morality, and they're not walking around being a bunch of narcissists. But I will tell you the one thing that is so confusing is this idea of how men should treat women on like this outside parameter in society, but then what they're told either in watching movies and most of all watching pornography. And I am really going to hit on this hard because I see it as a real problem, and it's getting worse. Now, many years ago, we didn't have the problems that we have today with a lot of confusion about sex, confusion how to treat a woman, just confusion on how to be sexual with a woman, because we weren't being fed this disinformation. And a lot of it comes from either the media or from pornography. Now, I have a very open mind. I've seen a lot of things in my life. I've worked with a lot of people. But what I have seen being displayed in pornography as over the past even 5 or 6 years, and the access to it is so disturbing. Because the way that men are treating women in some of these scenes is just horrendous. And I'm sure that my viewers have seen it because I've had open conversations about it. So in a scene in pornography, you may be having a woman tied up. You may be having her have a rape scene. It may be a gangbang. It may be, I won't go into the details, but most of these pornography sites, you can just open them up and it's right there. You don't even have to download or pay for a lot of it. It's free access. And you know who else is watching this? Our kids, our teenagers. Anybody that has a cell phone, a smartphone, has access to any of these sites. They can open it up and look at a site, and even a 30-second clip or a 5-minute clip, or the reality is you can watch 30 minutes to an hour, any subject you want. And they're getting even more advanced in their strangeness, in their taboo. And I have lots of people who get confused because there's certain aspects about watching pornography that really taps into our animal instincts, right? Our sexuality, and their taboo, and they heighten your dopamine, and they're interesting and they're intriguing. But in the same token, they are also not what we do on a daily basis, not how we act sexually, not even something that most people would see if they hadn't seen it through pornography. And I don't even like to call it pornography anymore, because it used to be like soft porn, I'll say, was was okay. It was like, people making out or making love or enjoying and being sensual. And I'm not putting all pornography down, because I think there's a lot of pornography that is softcore and nice and sensual, and couples can watch it. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the stuff that's out there now. I guess you could call it hardcore, but it's kind of become mainstream. It's really disturbing. And how are you supposed to, especially if you're young, a young man who's just really learning about their sexuality and trying to explore how they feel, and all of a sudden they put something on and they see, all of these people doing things together, having these orgies and all of this stuff going on, and it's kind of a turn on, but then it's kind of confusing, and then afterwards they feel shame about it, or they just feel like something's wrong. Like they just watch something that makes them feel a little queasy, but they go back to it again because it's there. And then we have all these sayings that have come out, just do it, or if you feel something, just try it, or if there's some sexual thing that turns you on, you should go out and do it. It's okay, go out and try those things. And the reality is that a lot of people do go out and try it, and they end up not feeling good afterwards. And it's because it's not what they really would have done to begin with. They've been exposed to this, influenced by it, sucked into it, basically, and get stuck. I know some young men who spend hours on different sites. I know some men that are not young men, that are older men, who will, masturbate to this time and time again, or they will have this period of just trolling different sites, building up the dopamine, building up the enthusiasm, and then finding the perfect video and then having their orgasm. And so basically they're training themselves sexually to react this way. They're having to have all this heightened stimulation to have an orgasm. They're having to go to the next level and find the next taboo thing, or the next strange thing that's turning them on in order to get excited. And so all of this can create confusion, and all of this can also make somebody feel like, wait, now I've exposed myself to all this. What is sex supposed to be like? Like, how do I interact with a woman? What am I supposed to do? I'm being told in these videos that women like all of these things, or I think they do, but then in reality, on the other end, I can't even stand next to a woman or really approach her, because then I may be saying the wrong thing. So I think this message that's going out is chaotic and confusing, and it's really not healthy. And I've been counseling a lot of men who are very confused and having problems with this. And I wanted to make this video to let men know that I know that this is going on, that I see this happening, and that they're not going crazy with this, that there really is something wrong going on in society with all this exposure to all of these violent pornographic videos that are being depicted. It's not a normal, healthy relationship to be involved in that or think that you have to be involved in that. So what I want to say is, if you are feeling this, if you're feeling confused, if you're feeling lost, if you just have all of this going on, I would definitely say to put down the computer, put down the phone, stop watching the pornography, back away from it. Fantasize about other things if you're going to masturbate to them. I'm not telling people not to masturbate. I wouldn't say that's healthy. I think people need to be healthy and they need to be connected with their body. But they need to stay away from all this extreme visual stimulation, because it really does confuse people, and kind of get back to the basics. Maybe get a good magazine with, a pinup girl in it, or, something like that, or read an erotic novel, something other than just this extreme visual stuff that people are getting sucked into. It's not just the pornography. It's now interactive pornography, interactive chat rooms, and it really draws you in, and it gives you this sense of this different reality. And then coming out of it, people can get very traumatized, especially young people who are still developing and understanding their own bodies and what turns them on. It's very confusing. So I just want you to know that if you're feeling this, you're not alone. Other people are confused too. It is a problem, and you can make a decision. You can stop watching it. You can start doing other things. Get some activities going on in your life. Become a part of a social group. If you feel like it's become a coping mechanism or you're having problems getting away from it, talk to somebody about it. Try to find other things in your life that you're passionate about, that you feel you have purpose. Join a group, join a club, so that you're not isolated. But I definitely want you to know that you're not alone, that if you feel this way, other people are feeling this way too. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, please leave your comment, and as always, I believe everyone deserves to have a healthy sex life, and so do you.